All right, here we are. It is number
5.
5, which is
Being grateful.
being grateful. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones because they say the difference between somebody who's happy and someone who's not depends on how grateful they are. A grateful person is a happy person.
Yes.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're grateful for the stuff you have, and you never want more. Like, that's how everyone should be.
Well, I think everybody wants more, but we have what we have, so you can be grateful for it, no matter how much it is. If you aren't grateful, think about that. There's people who have everything.
There's some
And they're not
people who
grateful.
have nothing. There's some people out there who are starving and they're grateful.
Right, grateful to get anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that makes you more grateful sometimes.
Yeah,
The striving for it. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's hard to be grateful. Every day, I take things for granted. Do you?
Yeah.
Like what? What do we take for granted?
What's Brandon mean?
Take it, I don't know, take things for granted, meaning that you don't think anything about it. You have it, and so what? You have it. But we don't realize that it's special to have a lot of this stuff. To have clothes to wear, nice clothes to wear, to have
Something under our heads. That's
Yeah,
why
on a
houses are so
house.
expensive. Because
Right.
they're one of the most important things of your life.
right houses, and cars are too. If you don't have a
Yeah.
car to get around, it's tough. Tough to
Honestly,
get by.
you could just have a cheap van life and you could live grateful.
Grateful and just live in a van,
Yeah,
and you can drive and live in a van. Well, if you're grateful, maybe you'd be happy doing that.
that also
Right.
seems like cheaper and more fun.
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't know. That might get a
unless
little
you
bit
have
too long.
more people living
Where are you
with
going to take a shower at?
Pond.
What?
A pond.
A pond?
Lakes. And
What if it's like cold out?
well,
Remember, you have to put gas in a van. There's a lot more involved in that than you think. But getting back to our point, grateful. So there's little stuff to be grateful for. Grateful that we have all our fingers,
yeah.
because not
You
everyone
can't
does.
say that.
What? They
What?
have all their fingers?
Imagine viewers like having
don't have-
don't have like one of their fingers.
There's
You
a lot of
can't
people I
say
know who
that.
don't have that, but they're grateful to have what they have. You know, so grateful to be able to. I'm grateful that I have my fingers. I'm grateful that I can see. Not everyone can see. I'm grateful that I can hear. Everyone can hear.
Well,
So
you can. Well, you need reading glasses.
yeah, and we have the reading glasses. Mine are not perfect, but that's okay. I can still see, and I have my teeth. That's good.
You know what I'm grateful for?
What?
Them hitting the subscribe button.
Oh well, that's getting a little bit too deep.
It's for content.
Oh, content. Okay.
Jeez.
So grateful. So every morning when you get up, I think you should be grateful. I try to be grateful for everything I have. I try to be grateful that I feel okay, because that isn't always the case. Sometimes I ache. Sometimes my back aches. Sometimes my knees hurt, and I'm grateful when they don't.
I'm kind of stressed a lot.
Yeah. Because of why? Because you're not grateful.
Well, not because of that, but you already know.
Mm.
It's complicated. Anyway,
Yeah.
You know what I'm grateful for?
What?
Family.
Yeah. That's a good thing to be grateful for.
Your mom is the one who literally raises you and gives birth to you, and your dad literally same, like they just raise you, and
Yeah.
you
take them
should
for granted?
always be grateful for the family you have.
Yeah, that's true. I think growing up, I wasn't very grateful at all for my mom and dad. My mom and dad were
Not
so
many
good to me all the time that I took it for granted, and I wasn't all that grateful till I started getting older and
That's the
realizing.
thing. Parents with good parents have bad children, and bad parents have good children.
No, that's not always the case.
Yeah, but it
sometimes.
usually is. Like, I'd say about 60% of the time.
You think so? I don't know if that's true, but I think that it can be true that sometimes kids who have parents who maybe aren't as good as others can be grateful when they do something good for them. You know, like my parents would give me stuff all the time. They spoiled me in a lot of ways. And so I wasn't as grateful I think I should have been. But now I'm very grateful for them. I think that they were great parents. They did a great job. And, you know, I think your mom does a good job. Are you grateful?
Yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I'm not grateful for.
Like what?
I already told you I'm really grateful for that bike.
You are?
Yeah, I told you that.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, it's grateful because
The
you
new
didn't have
bike.
the new bike. You didn't have a bike for a while. I think that
For a few
creates
months.
gratefulness for a while. Just think if you didn't have something and then you
I'm
get
also-
it, then you're appreciative too. Appreciative and grateful because you didn't have it. But sometimes when we have stuff all the time, we're not grateful.
You keep wanting more and more,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes your parents spoil you,
Yeah.
and sometimes they just say no, and then you start crying.
And trying to get it.
Yeah.
Is that why crying? Is that why kids
That-
cry? They try to make their parents feel bad so they get it for them.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. So those kids aren't grateful at all, are they?
No.
How do you make a kid grateful? I don't know if you can make
I
them
don't
grateful.
know. Maybe discipline them.
Like spank them when they're not grateful? I don't think that works. But what might work is, I don't know. Let me think about that. That's a hard one. I think you're right. If you're grateful for what you have, then you don't need other stuff. Right? So
Right.
so sometimes buying stuff makes you feel good.
So
Doesn't it?
basically,
But then if you're grateful for what
like
you have, you don't have to go out and
a
buy something to make
week-
you feel good.
a week after we thought of the name of this video, I saw a book in school about being grateful.
Yeah. Did you read it?
No, it was the teacher reading it again. But that's not where I got the idea. So basically, there's this kid with a rusty bike and is really good at baseball. And the other person has so much stuff like scooters, bikes, skateboards, and is also really good at baseball. But this one kid with the rusty bike is poor and has no car because the mom let the little boy have a bike instead of having a car so he could go places, and the mom had to ride the bus everywhere. So the one with the like rusty bike and had pretty much nothing was grateful for everything he had. He even started giving stuff away that he thought he didn't deserve, which he obviously did, to the person who was ungrateful, who was the other main character.
Trying to make them happy, probably, right?
Yeah, because he got a broken ankle from playing baseball, and the poor kid is given half of the winning lottery thing, which is chips. That's for the win of the baseball team, whoever wins it. He's given half of it to, I forgot their names, but the one who is ungrateful for everything. Okay, so then he pauses for a minute and goes into his garage. He looks at his most likely new friend's rusty bike, and then he looks at his garage, and then he sees that he was ungrateful the whole time, and he needs to work on that, and he needs to start being like him. Even though he doesn't have much, he has to stop wanting more.
Why? Because
And,
it makes you unhappy when you keep wanting stuff, right?
Yeah. So he said he didn't want it all, and then the poor kid said that he wasn't leaving with all of the chips. So basically, half of it went to him, and half of it went to the other one. And yeah. That's basically the story.
I was a little lost on that story. But that's okay. So we get the gist of it, though.
Yeah.
Being grateful, it doesn't matter. You can be happy without having as much. Though going to buy stuff can make you happy, the reality is if you're happy with what you have, then you don't need other stuff.
Exactly.
Right. You know, so grateful to have a roof over our head. That's a big thing. Grateful to have a car to drive. I'm grateful for that. Grateful to have food to eat. Grateful to have water to drink.
Honestly, you should be grateful for anything. Doesn't matter what it is. You must be grateful for it. It's nice.
Well, that's the key is you don't have to be grateful for anything.
It's just rude not to be.
Well, it's not, well, I guess it could be considered rude, but the reality is we get the choice. We all get the choice. I get the choice every day to decide if I want to be grateful or not. And some days I don't. Even after doing this and thinking about this, I went through most of my day really not being grateful for everything I have. But if I looked at it, if you breathe, breathe.
I know
Feels
exactly
pretty
how
good.
to do this.
Feels pretty good, doesn't
Like
it?
you sit straight up, feet on the ground, close your eyes, breathe in through your nose.
Breathing feels
Then
pretty
you
good.
stop for a few seconds and then breathe out through your mouth.
I'm grateful for breathing. Actually feels pretty
And
good. to breathe.
then this is another thing I learned in like counselor. Then you go like, I am loved. Then you do the breather a second time. Then you say, you matter. And then after the third breath, you say, you belong. Which all of those are true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Counselor at school.
Counselor at school? Oh.
Yeah.
This is pretty good stuff. Does it work? Did it make you feel better when you did that?
I feel relaxed. Yeah.
So let's just breathe it. And know, you know what? Know that, feel grateful because everything's going to be okay. Everything will be the way exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And, well, that's going to wrap us up. But before we end this video, let's do, we'll try to remember this, but we're probably going to forget. But we're going to try to do a question of the day every single time. So
Question
basically,
of the day.
yeah, I thought of this.
Okay.
Anyway, the question of today is, what are you most grateful for? That's the question of the day.
That's a good one.
So, before we sign out, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to all so you never miss any of our morals. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. So, we're going to see you on episode 6.
Episode 6. Episode 6, what's it going to be about?
How about...
We'll
I don't know.
with one. We'll come up with one. So stay tuned to find out what's in episode 6 because we're going to come up with a good one.
Yeah, because we can't think of anything.
Can't think of something
now.
right now, but we will. So,
will.
till then, sign off. Be grateful. Grateful people are happy people, right?
Oh, I know what we're going to do.
What?
Taking things too far.
Taking things too far.
Yeah. When you take things too far, you don't realize and like stuff.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
high fives.
High fives.
High fives.
High fives.
High fives.